Hello. As you can see, my the sun is in a bad place right now. No, no offense to Sun Mom, but like, our window shade broke. So I have my privacy screen that I used to have in my old place, and the sun found the gap between the privacy screen and the window. So hopefully she goes down soon, but I'm gonna there, that's better. I'll just lean over this way for now. Okay. How are you? Let me know what you're drinking. I restocked on coffee this afternoon. It's one of the Trader Joe's coffees, or I'm not sure if it's from Trader Joe's, but like that's where I find it, and this one is called Beautiful Coffee to the People, which is a great name. And I'm like, yeah, that's the one that I want. I also wanted the one called Mountains of the Moon, but they didn't have that one, so it's in my dragon cauldron mug, and I put chocolate in there too, the sipping chocolate powder, because I can make a mocha now. Right, so last time we finished everything except the second ear, because we do the whole head and then get up to the, I don't know which one is the attached ear on this one, which is a good sign that you can't really tell. Anyway, let's just say it's this one. You do one of the ears and then you cut the yarn and then attach it and do the same thing. So we're just going to finish that one up on this orange bunny. And so that's what we'll be doing. It probably won't take the whole time, but I have other crochet, I hope. Okay. First time I get to see my own yarn worked up. So we'll do that later, hopefully. But for now, I'm just going to do this bunny pattern, and I do have a yarn announcement. I'll probably repeat it a few times, but like, just in case other people show up. But it's that my new batch of yarn is going live tomorrow on my website, thornwingcrochet.com. So it's pretty much all done except for, like, all the listings are done except for like the just pushing the button to make them visible on the site. So I'm hoping that that whole thing gets to feeling easier, and I'm sure it will as I do it more, but just taking pictures and stuff feels like a lot right now. But I'm happy to do it more because that means that people are buying yarn, so yeah. Hi Zara. If I recall correctly, you bought me out of the last batch of red champion, right? I would love to know how you're finding it. I'm going to be updating the website with more of that, and more than last time, because who'd have thought red and black is a popular colorway. So yeah. With the square I showed just now, the dragonfly Yeah, I love that too. Like it's the slight elastic. Yes, Winter, I know what you're talking about. um, I hope you can go to the concert now. Anyway, so yeah, just to finish this thought, like it, there's a slight bit of elastic content which I've never really had in a yarn before, and you would think, well, is that weird? But no, it just makes it like kind of springy and slide, like you just slide right in to the stitch. It works so well. So I don't know if I'll be able to find to get to consistently get yarn from this place, because it has been pretty heavily discounted. But I'm definitely gonna keep an keep an eye out on that. The place I get the berry yarn is the vegan yarns. So it was one of the only places I could find that had like really not cheap but like inexpensive bamboo or cotton yarn. So all right, now let's finish. It's so it's so lovely and squishy. Yes, it is. My daughter was big in into ladybugs when she was a kid, so black and red is my jam. Cool. Yeah, it's a really good combo. Oh, thank you. I am so glad that um, that I'm in a place where I'm able to do that for you. Yeah, what happened was I was like, oh yeah, I should go to winter shop and see if there's something that I want to buy to, like, you know, support them. And I saw this shawl. Like I'm often like very cautious about what I buy because I'm still working on building my own business. But I saw this like beautiful like rose pink and kind of black shawl, and I was like, well, I think that I need that, and consulted with my gods, and it seemed like that they were on board, and I know that if a purchase is a bad idea for me, that um, I'll I'll be able to hear the um, advice not to from them. So, but often they encourage me to be less worried about money than I tend to be, which is nice. But so I was like, yeah, I don't know who this makes me think of, but it like seeing that color and that shawl, like it felt like it was making me think of someone that was important to me, but I just don't know who yet. And I also had that feeling about the color blue before I knew that it was connecting to Sun Mom, Inanna. Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Extra gift. And yeah, tell Ogre if he has friends that like yarn. So the Puer Tea shawl. Yeah, it was one of the most fun to make. Cool. Yeah, it will probably be fun to wear too. Like the I love lace, and that pattern looks fun to do. It's a red teapot atelier. I assume that's a designer. But cool, yeah. The only thing I know about, like the only thing that makes me think of is like um, at one point I was very much in Lolita fashion, and I only really stopped because of just dysphoria reasons, but like I don't think there's a time when you have to stop, or only certain genders can do it. Like I don't think that, just like for me personally, I was like, well, I kind of need to focus on building other parts of my the wardrobe at this point. But one of my favorite brands, even though I never really got much from the brands because like they're very pricey, and I kind of wanted to see if I could build my own wardrobe just by sewing and stuff. But was something at atelier. So that was one of my favorite the Lolita brands. Yes, I was like, I actually went there thinking I would get some more stitch markers to your shop. I was like, well, I do need some more stitch markers, and they probably have some, so I'll just go get some. Then I saw the shawl, and I was like, welp, take my cash. So, yeah, I got all of the yoga skeletons. So the ones I have can have friends. Oh, cool. She designs in. I assume red teapot atelier designs intricate detailed shawls. Cool. I should probably get started on the bunny pattern. But we had to have a party about the shawl that is coming to me, right? So yeah. Right, so we cut the yarn here, and let me remind myself where we attach it on the other side of the head. Right, so on the other side of row 13, you have your chain 3 to start with, and then the standalone double crochet right after that. That's where you attach. Luckily, the chart is specific about that. So I'm just attaching by a single crochet, and then we chain 3 and double crochet in the same stitch. Yeah, don't worry. Like I'm not in any hurry to get it. I just wanted to go ahead and make sure that you had the money, because I don't know. I was like, I don't know exactly when the show is, but I want to make sure you have it. So like, yeah. And I did the double crochet in the next stitch, which is not exactly correct, and this is a tutorial, so I want to do the right thing. Okay, chain 3 and double crochet in that first double crochet stitch from the previous row, after the previous row's chain 3. Then we chain 2, and then in the next stitch, which is the top of a double crochet cluster, we do our next double crochet cluster, which is the first one in this row, kind of, except that this chain 3 plus the double crochet counts as the first one. 1, 2, chain 2, double crochet in the next standalone double crochet. The show is Tuesday. Cool. Exciting. Okay, go back to the double crochet cluster and chain 3 instead of 2, and then double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 3, double crochet cluster in the next standalone double crochet. And I did finally put the part that we did last time into the description of the last one, and I'll probably put, it would be silly to just say, do the same thing from, to have like instructions for this part. Do just repeat ear 1. I'll probably include ear 1 for reference. No, it's fine. Like I'm happy to have people chat. Right, then after the double crochet cluster, chain 2 and do a second double crochet cluster in the same stitch. And that was row 1 of the second ear. So then we chain 1, turn. Since it is the same as the previous one, I'm just going to go on, especially since it's not too complicated this time. So instead of recapping, so for row 2, we slip stitch into the first chain 2, the chain 2 space. We chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into the same chain 2 space. And this time we chain 2 and double crochet into the standalone double crochet, chain 2, second double crochet into the standalone double crochet. So that's a V that's starting to happen now. Chain 2, double crochet in the, not the next chain 3 space, but the next chain 2 space, so in between the double crochet cluster from the previous row. And we make a double crochet cluster in that chain 2 space, and chain 2, second double crochet cluster in the same chain 2 space. Ooh, cool. That sounds fun. Painting your your leather jacket with SP things. Sometime I would like to have a leather jacket that has all of those cool like music patches, and for me it'd probably be a bunch of pagan things. So row 3, we chained 1 and turned, slip stitch into the first chain 2 space. Yeah, it sounds like a great place to wear that kind of thing. Chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet cluster into the same chain 2 space, chain 2, skip the next chain 2 space and double crochet in the next chain 2 space between the arms of the V, chain 2, double crochet in the same chain 2 space. So we're making stacking V's. I'm looking this way so I can see what I'm doing on the camera screen. And chain 2, skip the next chain 2 space and double crochet cluster in the last chain 2 space. Chain 2, double crochet cluster in the same last chain 2 space. Chain 1, turn. And for 4 and 5, we basically do the same thing as row 3. So slip stitch in the next chain 2 space, chain 3, double crochet in the same chain 2 space, chain 2, double crochet cluster in the same chain 2 space, chain 2, skip the next chain 2 space, double crochet in the next chain 2 space, chain 2, double crochet in the same chain 2 space between the V. Yay! I'm glad to hear that. Very happy that I could help out. So I know money concerns can be not fun. They suck. Skip the next chain 2 space, double crochet in the last chain 2 space, and by that I mean double crochet cluster. Chain 2, double crochet cluster in the same chain 2 space. So that's how it looks so far. Chain 1, turn. And that's, okay, row 5. Slip stitch in the first chain 2 space, chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet cluster in the same chain 2 space, chain 2, skip the next chain 2 space, double crochet in the next chain 2 space, chain 2, double crochet in the same chain 2 space, chain 2, skip the next chain 2 space, double crochet cluster in the last chain 2 space, chain 2, double crochet in the same last chain 2 space, chain 1, turn. Now we're doing something a bit different. So we slip stitch again. I say as I proceed to tell you the same thing for the first part of the row. So slip stitch in the same first chain 2 space, chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet cluster in the same chain 2 space, and now we chain 3 and skip the first chain 2 space, single crochet into the center chain 2 space on top of the V, and then chain another 3, skip this next chain 2 space and make our double crochet cluster in the last chain 2 space. Yeah, I do too. It's from Ice Yarns. So I got only 2 skeins of this really sparkly pumpkin-y color, and it has lasted for months. Like I just haven't used much of it, so I was like, well, this is a very springy pattern, but I can make it a bit more Halloween-y and on brand if I use this yarn. So after our double crochet cluster in the last chain 2 space, we chain 2 and make our last double crochet cluster in the same space. Chain 1, turn, only 2 more rows, and they're very short. Slip stitch in the first chain 2 space, chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet cluster in the same chain 2 space. I know, I love how my brand has become like goth and sparkly and goats. And then we make another double crochet cluster, and to do that we skip this entire thing with the chain 3, single crochet, chain 3. Oh good. I was like, did I only chain 2? Nope. Okay. And we do that straight into the last chain 2 space. So double crochet cluster, and this makes the ear kind of taper up to a point. Chain 2, double crochet cluster, the trifecta of thorn, yes. Goth, sparkle, goats. And chain 1, turn, and for row 8, which is the last one, slip stitch into the first chain 2 space, chain 3, double crochet in the same chain 2 space, and then skip to the next chain 2 space, which is also the last one, and double crochet cluster. And that's it. Then we cut the yarn. Yes. Black heart, sparkle, goat. Exactly. Glad I remembered to bring my scissors. Now I have some ends to weave in, but I'll do that later. So yeah, it's a bunny. If you did this along with me or later on, congratulate yourselves. And thank you to Chisako, whoever they are. If I ever find out what their social media is, if unless they're trying to just live a private life and leave their the crochet designer days behind them or something. But yeah, I will definitely link their stuff, because I've done the English versions of 2 of their patterns now, which is pretty easy because it's in a chart and I can read charts. So it's like the instructions are in Japanese, but I can sort of read that too. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm trying to get more and more out, at least conversational. So I would love that if you were inspired by that for my gift. Ooh, presents. Hydration. Yes, please shout out your store. They actually have 2 of them, so make sure to link both of them on Etsy and Ribbler. Add others if you have more. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I might have noticed that when I was looking for you on Etsy, but hydrate or dihydrate, yes. One of my friends said, hydrate before you die straight. Like, oh no. Glugs water. And now I can work on this one, which is my own yarn that I dyed. I didn't create the yarn, but it's this dragonfly pattern that I basically just eyeballed from yeah, I'm not dying straight either. And like I couldn't find a pattern for the types of dragonflies that I wanted, but there's this one picture by, I posted it in my blog post on forwardwingcrochet.com, so like I have the person's handle and stuff there. Shameless plug, so go go find my blog over there if you want to know who did this. Like dcrochet3, I think, on Instagram. So there's this picture of a really awesome the dragonfly thing that they did, but I couldn't find a pattern, so I just went, well, it looks like that's what they're doing, and kind of experimented, which I'm really happy I'm at the point where I can do that. Thanks. Yeah, I had already decided to do the dragonfly stitch, or I hadn't found one that I liked yet, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to do some kind of dragonfly motif. And then while winding this yarn from the hank, it suddenly came to me, like the colorway name suddenly happened, which is also dragonfly. So, it was recently given to me as a symbol by a spirit friend. So, so it's become kind of an important thing to me. Ooh. Choose a color for the sparkle. How about copper? I'm excited to see what you come up with. This is one of the most exciting rows in this pattern because we go from this with the line across here to this, and suddenly you can see, oh my god, it's a dragonfly. And the tail's coming soon, but that's in future rows. I realized after looking at the pattern that this person did the dragonfly's head first and went up. Oh, copper, like the metal, so kind of gold, kind of orange, but like in between. Yeah, that is the problem with roommates sometimes. Oh, I'm gonna put this on my Instagram too, like both my personal and business probably, but we are in the throes of looking for a new housemate, hopefully by May 1st, which is really soon. If you know anyone that needs a room in Oakland, California. Ooh, cool. But yeah, I am excited to see what happens with that. With the yarn, and also with the housemate. It would be nice to have someone in by that time. Another set of 4 wings. Oh, I've decided what I'm going to do with my, I mean, that would be great. That's, like, I know that you're probably joking, but I will happily, I am happy to send you the posting, like, with all the info and stuff, but since we're in different countries, it probably wouldn't work. But hey. But yeah, that would be great. Oh yeah, I decided what I'm gonna do with my next with the blue that I squared away. The first 3 skeins I did, and then also the one that I bought from myself. I'm gonna make a cape like this, like the ones in this phone game, which is also on other platforms, that I love right now. It's my current hyper focus. It's called Sky, and it's incredibly pagan, and it's like, I won't give any, I won't give details about this because it's like spoilers, but there's a whole game full of people doing some of the spirit work that I learned from one of the heavier chapters in the book that my the brother Brian wrote about the path that I'm on, and I didn't expect to find that in modern pop culture. But the non-spoiler part of the game is that you're a star child, and you have this cape that lets you fly, and there are lots of other players in the game around you, and you go through the realms and save the spirits of your ancestors and bring them to the temple of the elders, so that they can help the spirits go back to the stars. And you go around and gather the winged lights, or as we call them, shiny boys, because they're shaped like a kid who's just made of light and standing there looking up at the stars. And they're quite hard to find sometimes, but they're what lets you upgrade your cape and fly further, which is fun. The flight controls are really hard to master, but they're so fun. And they feel exactly like when I've been relearning to fly in my dreams. Like I used to fly in my dreams a lot as a kid, but like now I've been learning to do it more like as like in a spirit worky pagan way too. So it has that same expansive feeling. So it's nice to find that in the waking world too. But yeah, living with pagans is great, honestly. Like, I mean, as long as they're just as long as there's a lot of conversation about like boundaries and like what that having a shared space looks like, which these people have lived in shared spaces for a long time, so they kind of know how to do it, which is one reason why I knew that I would be okay here. But oh, I'm glad to hear that that Baba Yaga likes him. That's, I mean, that's a compliment to him, right? I'd imagine her approval is not lightly given. So yeah, I just need to find a. Let's say I have the main color and an accent color, and I need like a white color for the stars. So luckily, I'm going to be getting some more dye soon. Oh, nice. I love it when gods like help us to learn witchcraft and you know the the magical stuff. I know not everyone uses the term witch for their own practice, but that's the one that came to mind because that's what I identify as. And there's very much a part of my relationship with Gwyn that is him teaching me specifically like more trad witchcraft. Cool, yeah, I thought so, but I was just like, if just in case someone was watching who didn't identify that way, but yay witches. Yeah, I totally relate to having to do things for something to happen, like either as an exchange or like you have to learn some prerequisite skills first. For Gwyn, it's kind of like in my experience, he's like, well, I can teach you that, but you're gonna have to learn some of this stuff first. So I just got up to 9 stars on my cape in sky. and I'm so happy because that represents 100 winged lights. So it took quite a while because a lot of them are very well hidden. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not a newbie anymore. I don't know if I'm a vet, but like I'm definitely not a moth, as they call the new players, because their capes kind of look like moth wings, and um, it's kind of nice. Like, it's kind of a nice reference to the moth and moth and the the flame saying, because in the game's sources of light and fire are what recharges our capes. So yeah, um, yeah, that yeah, that makes sense, as just from my experience of being asked to do certain things, either as offerings, or like preparation for things. Like, I I fasted the day before my vows to Gwen, when I was taking my lifelong vows to him in 2019. And I was in a class at the time, and people kept offering me food, and I was like, I appreciate it, but like I didn't want to tell them that I was like, no, I'm about to make like I wasn't even sure that I wanted to get into the whole like I'm out as pagan, but just like saying that I'm fasting for the religious reasons on the day of Halloween. I felt like I would have to explain more to people than I kind of wanted to at that point. I was like, I just want to focus on the extremely awesome thing that I'm about to do, which I've been waiting for so long, and it's kind of terrifying, but I have waited so long for this. So yeah, it is a fun game. I'm probably gonna go play after this, and like I would like to at least be able to find all of the wing blades. Oh yeah, that is hard. Like it's kind of like the Spider-Man meme where you're both fasting for your own religious reasons, but not for the same one. So yeah, that is hard, but also he doesn't really. I mean, in my view, he doesn't really have to get it to respect it, but he may not be there yet. So just just from the bits and pieces I have heard from you. I love having this be a channel where we can talk about not only yarn, but also spiritual, the witchy shit. How to store your hooks. I can't believe I'm more than halfway done with this square. I think it's bigger than my January square even, so I'll have to even things out a bit by adding the borders to things when the whole blanket is done. But this is the April square for the stitch and screen. Obviously, the official stitch is quite different. Um, and that's fine. I just my brain is just like, I demand lace. So I stopped trying to do the actual stitch. I'll just like do a square along with the rest of the alt mod school squad, but it'll be as some kind of lace. So I don't think I brought my other squares, but I started like a third into the month, and I hadn't even finished my March square, but I powered through that, and then like this has been so fun to work with. It's like it seems to barely take time. Also, I think it's a not quite as thin of a yarn as I was working with the March one, which like it's a gorgeous yarn. It was the Boss Kitty Murder Mittens, I think, the deep red color. I got it in fingering weight, I think, or lace weight, or both. I'm the thing I put on the label here with this yarn is what they said on the website. So like, I don't know for sure like what all the weights are offhand, but also tried to explain to him why I was crocheting my shawl all night the day I heard of Ogre getting sick. I was like, well, it helps with my working. I mean, yeah, that red is awesome. I thought it was kind of fun how the two colors other than Coraline that I got from her both had kind of a like they sounded painful. Like there's the Murder Mittens, and then I got this deep purple, which was the Purple Nurple. I don't know exactly what that is, but it sounds like something you wouldn't want to experience. So, yeah. Well, I finished my row and actually started a new one. Wow. It's so easy to just do 3 rows, and then I look back and I'm like, oh, I forgot to start the next dragonfly. Damn. But it's so easy to do this. So hopefully the other even the bigger projects I have will be a breeze too. So I just it's kind of the relief that I love the yarn that I've dyed. Because I'm like, yes, now I can work with it and genuinely enjoy it too. If I'm remembering correctly from my youth, the Purple Nurple is when you twist someone's nipple really hard. I thought so. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. Ever since top surgery, mine don't have feeling anymore, but at least the left one, weirdly, I'm trying to say this in not too of a graphic way, but the right one doesn't look as normal, but it has a lot more feeling, so the nerves were able to heal or like stay a lot more. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's a journey with like as my surgeon said, like we can't really guarantee what will happen with that, because it's and so, and like I think it's a process that will take years to like for things to heal up, and so I may start getting feeling in different parts of my chest, but yeah. Ah, same is happening with a blanket I'm working on. Cool. Yeah. Well, um, I definitely support you doing whatever you want to and can in that area. Yeah. Oh yeah, it sounds like a thing that guys would that like boys would do to each other, like at least in past times. You know, past times. um, Also, like I didn't grow up with brothers, and I was socialized as a girl, so like I didn't really know what. But yeah. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like I'm I'm actually really happy, come to think of it, that my that they have the ability to do the laparoscopy with when I got my gallbladder out, because I actually didn't have to worry about that too much. But you know, when you're taking a whole human out, yeah, you kind of have to make it bigger. Doorway. I'm trying to say this without like being too graphic, but sorry in advance or the retrospect. But I hope that you were doing better. I don't know how long ago that was. Um, we would give each other sunburns. Yeah. Yeah. I did hear about that, the arm twist one. Wow, children. But anyway, I I think we're gonna end. Yeah. I think that I'm gonna head out, but it was honestly really fun chatting, and thanks so much for hanging out. And um, tag me if you end up doing one of these, either now or in the future. On Instagram, I'm thorn_wing_crochet, just in case anyone needs that info. um, Goodbye. Yes, I am excited for the sparkly gift, and wow, I should really get a PO box so I can. That's something I wanted to do. Now that I can have one in walking distance of me and actually get to it, so I can be like, hey, if you, not that you have to, but if you want to send things to me, like fill up my PO box. It's like Christmas. Yes, I'm really. It's always nice to have you, um, Zara and Winter. But like, thanks for hanging out, and um, it's time to go bye. I have those shorts too. I mean, I have the pattern. I'm using a completely different square, but I got it for the way that the squares are put together. But yeah, so I'll be working on that too. Short twins. I mean, wait, shorts twins. Okay, goat.